'Tis 12:04 in the morning. Somewhere over Manhattan, the rain has stopped. But the streets haven't noticed yet. You're listening to After Midnight with Daktari Night. If you've got a light on somewhere tonight and a phone in your hand, the lines are open. 555 KNIGHT. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Daktari. My name's Hilda.
Hilda, where am I finding you tonight?
6th Avenue, near the hall. I still walk past it most nights, even now, even though I don't work there anymore.
Radio City.
Radio City Music Hall. I sold tickets from that booth for 11 years, 1968 to 1979. Little glass window, brass frame, cold in winter, worse in summer.
11 years is a long time to watch people buy hope in small denominations.
That's exactly what it was. People buying a night out like it might fix something at home. I got good at reading them through the glass. Who was celebrating? Who was apologizing? Who was alone and pretending they weren't?
And one of them you never stopped reading.
One of them I never once understood. Can I tell it properly? It's long.
Take your time, Hilda. The hour's built for it.
1971, autumn. A man comes to my window. Dark suit, always the same cut, always pressed like it just came off the hanger. Sunglasses, even at night, even indoors under all that gold and marble. Hair combed flat, shoes so clean you could have used them as mirrors. He doesn't say a word, just slides a folded note under the glass. I open it up and it says, "Usual seat, please." And I think this is his first time at my window. I've never sold this man a ticket in my life. What usual seat? So I ask him, polite as I can, "Sir, which seat is that?" And he just points, taps the note again, and written underneath, small handwriting, almost like a draftsman's, row Z, seat 14.
The back row.
The very back, behind the left support pillar. Daktari, that seat is a joke among the ushers. We call it the blind spot. Half the stage is gone from there. People complain, ask for refunds, sometimes cry, if you can believe it, because they saved up for weeks and got that seat by accident.
And this man asked for it on purpose.
Every single time, I sold him that ticket every week, sometimes twice a week, for 3 years. Never spoke. Always the note, always cash, always exact change ready before I'd even quoted the price, like he already knew what it cost before I opened my mouth.
Did you ever see his face?
Never past those sunglasses. Not once. Not in July, not backstage during a fire drill in '73 when everyone else was squinting in the sun with their hands up. He kept them on. I used to think, maybe he's blind, but blind men don't ask for a seat behind a pillar to watch better.
Watch better, not watch the show.
No, sir. Not the show. Here's the thing I never told anyone, not even my husband, God rest him. Some nights the box office would close early, second show sold out, nothing left for me to do, and I'd walk into the hall, just to stand at the back by the control booth where the lighting men work the follow spots, and I'd watch him.
Go on.
He never watched the stage, Daktari, not once, in 3 years. He'd sit there with a little notebook, black cover, no bigger than a hymnal, and a pencil, and his head would move, slow, side to side, like a lighthouse. And he was writing the whole time. Not about the Rockettes, not about the orchestra, about the crowd. I got close enough once, pretending to sweep near his row during intermission, and I saw a page, little diagrams, numbers, rows of seats sketched out like a map, and marks on certain ones, X's, circles, some seats underlined twice.
He was mapping the audience.
That's what it looked like to me, like he was studying us, not the show at all. The people who came to see it, who sat with who left early, who cried at what part, who fell asleep, who came alone week after week, same seat, same coat, same sad little face, same as him in that way, I suppose.
Did the numbers on those pages ever mean anything to you?
There was one thing. In '73, there was a fire in a nightclub, out on Long Island. Terrible thing. Awful number of people lost. I remember it because 2 nights later, he came to my window again. Same note, same seat. But that night, when I watched him from the control booth, he wasn't writing in the little book. He had a folded newspaper on his knee, and every few minutes he'd look down at it and back up at the crowd, back down, back up, like he was checking faces against a story, comparing something.
Comparing the audience to the newspaper.
That's what it looked like. And I know how that sounds, Daktari, I do. I've turned it over in my mind 1,000 nights since. Was he police? Was he something worse than police? Was he grieving? And this was just a strange man's way of grieving, sitting in rooms full of strangers, counting them like sheep because his own flock was gone?
Did you ever ask him anything else? Try to speak to him directly.
Once, 1974, I think. I said, "Rough night out there, sir. Weather's turned." Just small talk, the kind you give anybody. He didn't answer, but he looked at me, sunglasses and all. And he nodded, slow, like he was marking something down about me, too. And after that night, Daktari, for 2 weeks, he didn't come.
And when he came back?
He handed me a new note. Not the usual one. It said, "Row Z, seat 14 is no longer needed. Row A, center, please. Front row, dead center, best seat in the house." I sold it to him without a word, the way I always did. But when I looked up into the hall that night from the control booth, for the first time in 3 years, he was looking at the stage.
Not the crowd. Not the crowd. The whole show, start to finish, like a man watching something for the last time. And when it ended, he stood up before the lights even came back on. And he walked straight out past my empty booth, and Daktari, he took the sunglasses off in the lobby. You saw his eyes.
For 1 second, under the chandelier light. And I want to tell you they were terrible or strange or something you could hang a story on. But they weren't. They were just tired. Ordinary and tired, like a man who'd finished a long shift of his own. He never came back after that. Not once. Not in the 5 years I worked there after. I asked around, ushers, the manager. Nobody remembered him the way I did. One usher swore there was never a man in seat Z-14 at all. Said that seat had been broken and roped off since '69.
Roped off.
Since before I even sold him his first ticket, Daktari. I checked the maintenance logs myself, years later, out of pure stubbornness. Z-14, broken seat, flagged for repair, 1969. Never repaired, never removed, just roped off and forgotten, the way things get forgotten in old buildings.
And you sold a ticket to that seat every week for 3 years.
Every week. And he sat in it. I know he sat in it, Daktari. I watched him sit in it, watched him write in that little black book. I am not a woman who imagines things. I balanced a cash drawer to the penny for 11 years.
I believe you, Hilda.
Some nights I still walk past that building and I look up at it, all that gold, all those lights, and I wonder whose face I'll see if I ever look up into that back row again. Whether he's still out there somewhere, sitting in the worst seat in some other hall, taking notes on the rest of us.
Maybe some men aren't watching the show at all, Hilda. Maybe they're taking attendance for something the rest of us haven't been told about yet.
That's what keeps me up, Daktari. Not who he was, what he was counting us for.
Thank you for calling, Hilda. Sleep if you can.
Good night, Daktari.
There is a rope across a seat in the back of a great hall on 6th Avenue. The maintenance log says it has been broken since 1969, and somewhere in a small black notebook, a man who does not speak may still be marking down the faces of strangers who never noticed him watching. This is After Midnight. The lines stay open. 555 KNIGHT. Subscribe to After Midnight with Daktari Night on YouTube.